Life for All presents Daily Food Series Genesis, the Beginning. Title of Book 5, Being Governed by the Word, by Pedro. Week 4, God's Covenant with Noah. Saturday, the danger of exposing the nakedness of authority. Read with prayer. But Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both of their shoulders, and went backward, and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned away, and they did not see their father's nakedness. Genesis chapter 9, verse 23. After the flood, God made a covenant with humanity, symbolized by the rainbow. Thus, the whole world would be assured that no rain or storm would turn into a new flood. From Noah's 3 sons, the entire earth would be repopulated. Genesis chapter 9, verses 18 and 19. Each of the 3 sons would give rise to a human lineage to populate specific regions of the earth. The descendants of Ham, for example, occupy Southwest Asia, Western Asia, and Northeast Africa. Southwest Asia was occupied by Ham's son, called Canaan, whose descendants are the Canaanites. He dominated the lands that God would promise to give to Abraham and the people of Israel. Abraham and Israel are descendants of Shem. Therefore, conflicts would arise between these 2 lineages over the dispute for these lands. When the Jews were freed from Egypt, God promised to take them back to the land of Canaan, but warned them not to walk in the ways of Canaan's descendants, who had given themselves over to idolatry there. Leviticus chapter 18, verse 3. Northeastern Africa, which is also occupied by the descendants of Ham, is identified in the Bible as part of Egypt, which was occupied up to the land of Cush, located in the Upper Nile region, south of Egypt, in present-day Ethiopia. What we will now discuss about the history of Ham is directly connected to what we saw earlier this week about the establishment of God's government on earth. In the Garden of Eden, God ruled over man. With the fall, the rule of conscience began, and after the flood, God established Noah as the authority and initiated man's rule on earth. Thus, as God's representative authority, even in the face of possible failures, no one had the right to expose Noah's life, which, as we read, was precisely the mistake made by his youngest son. And Noah began to be a farmer, and he planted a vineyard. Then he drank of the wine and was drunk, and became uncovered in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his 2 brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned away, and they did not see their father's nakedness. So Noah woke up from his wine and knew what his younger son had done to him. Then he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants he shall be to his brother." And he said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and may he dwell in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant." Genesis chapter 9, verses 20 through 20. Ham exposed the nakedness of his own father. If it had been anyone else, it might have been less severe. However, since Noah was the authority over all human beings at the time, Ham was rebelling against the authority God had established. What does it mean to expose nakedness? It means to expose the weakness of the authority appointed by God. Those who do this usually have an impure intention. When someone exposes an authority, that person wants to break free from submission to that authority. One usually does this to diminish the strength of the one in authority, so that he can have a more active voice among other people. This is rebellion. What Aaron and Miriam did to Moses followed the same principle. They criticized him for marrying a woman from Cush, but in reality, they were interested in being recognized as God's mouth among the people. Numbers chapter 12, verses 1 through 15. They were not happy to be Moses' older siblings and to have to submit to him, who, despite being younger, was the authority established by God at the time. After God rebuked them, Miriam found herself with leprosy. And in the Bible, leprosy means disobedience, rebellion. Therefore, we must take seriously any signs of dissatisfaction and rebellion in our hearts, any pursuit of recognition in the church. This is dangerous. Ambition for position and preeminence in the church will lead you to expose the nakedness of authority to promote yourself above it. Aaron did not become leprous because he was quick to repent. Let us follow the same path.